on this episode of Into the Breach.
Holy sh**, that was cool!
I'm breaking a firewall. From the crowded floors of the largest security conferences, Black Hat and RSA.
I'm here with Carl. He's a CISO for Fortinet. I'm sorry, I'm hypnotized by your mustache. It's too cool. Couple questions for you. Sure. What is a diet?
To a remote patch of desert where things get,
Max.
all yours, a little heated. To a room filled with ethical hackers at DEFCON.
Aren't you guys supposed to wear hoodies?
Only for outside.
All to find out how firewalls work
Are you a hacker?
Yes.
Do you hack a firewall?
and how they fail. Hackers, malware, exploits. We hear these terms all the time. But do we really know how vulnerable our world really is? On Into the Breach, I'm digging into the cyber threats you can't see and the tech we trust to stop them. I'm Kari Byron. I've spent my career solving problems, cracking things open to see how they work, and sometimes how they break.
System breach. Firewall 1.
We got a problem.
What?
Someone synced a rat to one of my servers. Remote access tool. We're being hacked.
I'm getting cats. They've already burned through the NCIS covered firewall.
Let's try a rule change on him. Put in an IPS signature that black holes the pattern.
Hack at the firewalls.
And they probably discovered a vulnerable protocol, used a rootkit to gain access.
They hacked your firewall in 10 seconds.
Every time I knock down a firewall, 5 more pop back up.
Infect the firewall with the virus.
For decades, we've trusted firewalls to protect our networks from hackers. And movies and TV shows have name-dropped them for just as long. That's Hollywood magic, right? What really is a firewall? Why has it become the go-to line of defense for so many years? And that's what brings me here to the bright lights and the palm trees of Las Vegas, where thousands of defenders have gathered to learn how the attackers think at Black Hat. But can these real pros answer a very deceptively simple question? What's a firewall?
All right, so you're walking around the conference. Who are the leaders in firewalls?
So I'm gonna go with the Checkpoint just because I know them Palo Alto networks.
I don't know those Palo Alto guys. They do some firewall stuff. I remember old ones like Monowall. Are they here? Probably not.
Fortinet, Cisco, Palo Alto.
What is a firewall?
It's a security product that stops bad guys from getting into good stuff.
It's an edge device to protect your organization from incoming threats. It provides a ring of steel around your network.
So a firewall is how you protect network access from a workload, a user, anything into the network.
This is Bill and Brandon from Cisco, and I've got a couple questions about firewalls. I'm here with Carl. He's a CISO for Fortinet, and I've got a couple questions for you. Hey there.
Hi.
I'm wondering if you could tell me what a firewall is.
So think about a firewall like a traffic cop that has the ability to inspect, prevent, or allow traffic.
But maybe you want to open the door and check what's inside that car to see if there might be something bad trying to get smuggled in or out.
All right, that's a start. There are untold millions of firewalls deployed around the world, from inside homes and small businesses to major corporations and critical infrastructure. Data needs to flow securely in and out. And they've been around since the early days of the internet, back when Yahoo was your homepage and downloading a picture took 2 minutes. They were designed to filter traffic, letting the good stuff in and keeping the bad stuff out through a series of configured rules that allow or deny computers, applications, and users access via an open port. To simplify, it kind of works like this. Imagine a police inspection point in the middle of a 2-lane bridge, going in and out of a city. The blue cars represent allowed data. The red cars, the bad stuff. The city represents a secure network, and the inspection point represents our firewall. As vehicles come up to the inspection point in both directions, red cars are denied, and blue cars are allowed through. These cars are coming from different places, and they have different intent. Remember that. It's going to be important later on. But in its most basic form, that's what your firewall is doing. Time and time again, attackers find ways through firewalls and into secure environments. And in recent years, we learned the scariest part. Sometimes these hacks sit undetected for months. until someone, like cybersecurity companies or governments, issues a recall or a fix, and suddenly everyone scrambles to patch it. These hacks aren't just the stuff of movies. They're real, and so are their consequences. But how are hackers breaking through firewalls? Find out? I need to talk to hackers. That's why I'm back in Las Vegas, because down the street from Black Hat is DEFCON, where hackers from all over the world gather to show just how vulnerable we really are. Talking to Gowrie and Silk here. These are the podcasters for DEFCON. I have a couple questions for you. First of all, what exactly is DEFCON?
It's not an InfoSec conference. We come here to share the various things we hack together. It's a, how would you put it, a lifestyle conference.
I'm on a mission, but I don't need a sledgehammer or a C4. I just need a hacker to do the dirty work for me. Wait, are you a hacker?
In some circles?
Can you hack a firewall for me?
No way in hell.
All right. I think that the general public, including me, most of our experience of what a hacker is comes from Hollywood. Hacking into the mainframe or we're hacking a firewall, that kind of thing. I'm not getting that vibe from you guys. Are you a hacker?
Yes.
Can you hack a firewall for me?
No, sorry.
I am here with Garrett G, clearly a hacker because he wrote an entire book on it. What made you become a hacker?
Myself, I've been always curious on things. I started working for the government at 15.
What? You're one of those guys? You started working for the government at 15? Wait, are you a hacker?
No.
Oh. That's definitely another hacker. Deny. I'm here with Darren Kitchen of Hack 5. So you're another one of those whiz kids hacking when you're a kid kind of thing?
Yeah, my mom was always like, oh, you're gonna be like Bill Gates when you grow up. And I'm like, Microsoft is lame, you know?
Okay, are you a hacker? No. She's literally, it says hacker. It says hacker. She's not a hacker? Are you a hacker?
Yeah,
Can you hack a firewall? I need somebody to do the dirty work.
I know some folks.
You know some? Where are they?
I can get you there.
Yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
Where are we going?
You'll see.
We'll see. Not sketchy at all. Not a big talker, are you?
No.
That makes me feel real secure.
Are you ready?
I'm not sure. All right, this is more like it. Dang, is this what hacker money gets you?
So I want to introduce you to Bang.
Hi.
Kevin,
good
come
to see
over.
you.
Nice to meet you. Hi.
Part of penetration testing.
Nice to meet you.
I've been talking to people about firewalls all day. Can you hack into a firewall?
Let me show you.
Okay, I've only seen this in the movies.
Yeah. So here to hack the firewalls, first we need to understand very well what the firewall.
Okay, I get it. You guys get to work. All right, I'm here with a group of ethical hackers from OPSWAT's Unit 515, a cybersecurity red team that specializes in beating the bad guys at their own game. Red team sounds really cool. I've never heard of it either. Sometimes they're known as pen testers. They find vulnerabilities in commonly used software and hardware like firewalls, and they report their discoveries to vendors. How do they do that? I have no idea. Let's go find out. All right, so how do you start this? How do you start hacking into a firewall?
We need to study very well about the kinds of the rules supported by the firewall. You know, any misconfigured rules might open the door for attacker to attack to the system.
The penetration testing team is attempting to gain access to a Palo Alto firewall. specifically a PA820 model. In order to gain access to the network on the other side, they will attempt to discover if there are any misconfigured firewall rules. Okay, so you are looking for ways to exploit a misconfigured rule.
Yes.
Okay, I need to know more about rules now, so I think I'm gonna let you guys do this. I'm gonna go find out more about rules. How many rules do you use?
Oh goodness, thousands.
It's good for you, 1,000, I would say. So it's hard to manage.
More than you want to manage, just like everyone else.
So what's a firewall rule then?
It's whether or not we want to allow that traffic in the network, whether we think it's a danger.
These are the rules that are active in this particular firewall policy. So like you can see here, this is a rule that's allowing traffic to our web server on specific ports.
My job inside of Cisco is to write these rules. The main thing is the rule writer, when they write the rule, needs to understand how an attacker would get into the network and write the rule appropriately.
More rules creates more vulnerabilities, right? Because there's more possibility for misconfigurations.
Yeah, there's a lot of complexity in it, and anytime you've got any complex system, there's margins for error. Kari, there are 65,536 ports. That is a lot to manage. You know, it's one thing to have a firewall, but it's almost like an art to like skillfully make sure that they're all properly deployed.
If you're a bank, you might have hundreds of thousands of firewall rules. If you're a small organization, you might have 4 or 5.
So I can design a rule based on different IP addresses within the network, or maybe different domain names. So let's say I want to make a rule letting this specific IP address get out to the internet, but maybe I only want to allow it to get to low-risk sites. And then I can add that as a filter. So we will actually, again, the car analogy, we'll check, kind of open the door, make sure that they're going to a safe website.
If I have a wrong port open, people could access servers on ports that they're not meant to.
They may not be able to get something working, so one of the most common things is allow everything in, and that is disastrous.
If a technical firewall is allowing every single port, every single application in, then is it really doing anything?
Some of them just make up the rules, it feels like, as they go, but a firewall's only going to be as good as how it's configured.
Remember our police inspection point on the bridge? Let's take a closer look at those cars. You see, it's more complicated than blue car's good, red car's bad. The inspection point, our stand-in for a firewall, operates based on a series of rules. In this example, each police officer stationed at the inspection point represents a different rule. Some rules allow data coming from a certain destination through the firewall, so the officer is checking cars for license plates that say New Jersey. Some rules block data that has malicious intent, so the second officer is checking to see if there are any warrants out for incoming vehicles. These are just 2 of what could be thousands of rules running on a firewall, and each of them is configured by a human on the other side and run in a specific order. Now, what if those rules aren't configured correctly and they leave gaps? Maybe the first rule is allowing all the cars with New Jersey plates straight through and right past the rule checking for warrants. All it takes is one malicious driver from New Jersey. And just like that, you're hacked because of a misconfigured rule. And yes, sometimes those results can be catastrophic. And I know a place where we can explore just how explosive attacks can be. Welcome to the Energetic Materials Research and Testing Center at New Mexico Tech. This is one of the nation's premier sites for testing how materials work under extreme circumstances. Here, engineers, scientists, and students work side by side to simulate real-world disasters. And sometimes, those disasters can be explosive. This is where the bomb squad trains, and where tomorrow's defenders learn to stop real-life threats. And today, it's where we're building the world's most literal firewall. Each of these walls represent a rule, and firewall rules are the instructions that determine what gets in and what stays out. And firewall rules need open ports. Some allow traffic, some allow a specific protocol, and some allow a specific user or time. The problem is, if the rules aren't configured correctly and mistakes are made, it creates gaps. And attackers love gaps. Let me show you what I'm talking about. You're probably wondering why I'm in this getup. Well, it's because I get to use a flamethrower, a really big flamethrower. I am playing the attacker. And if this firewall is misconfigured, well, those office workers are gonna have a really bad day.
Firewall in 3, 2, 1.
Misconfigured because we definitely had a gap and some malware got in. I mean, I'm only happy because I'm the attacker. Okay guys, how are we doing? Are we in?
No, not yet. It looks like the system admin knew what they're doing. There are no gaps in the firewall configuration to take advantage of.
So there's no rules misconfigured in this? Does that mean we're cooked?
No, not yet. There's another way in, exploits. Let's try to exploit the CV.
So exploits.
Yeah.
Now we're at exploits.
Yeah.
That's the next step.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now I'm gonna go figure out more about exploits. So you're a hacker and you're maybe a bad actor and you're coming into a system that maybe has huge infrastructure. What are the steps that you take to exploit to get into a firewall? Tell me what the hacker does.
So the firewall is a step along the way. Ultimately, I don't care about the firewall. If I'm malicious, I'm trying to get into the data. I don't care about the firewall. I'm trying to get to that data over there, or my specific purpose over there. What are the weak points I can exploit to get to that? The first thing I'm gonna do is scan it and say, what data can I get from this? If I can figure out what brand of firewall that is, that's gonna reveal what vulnerabilities. I'm then gonna first go online and see if there's vulnerabilities available to it. Something that's not fully known, and it feels like kind of nutty, but all the vulnerabilities are posted online. And if they're not very specific, stuff like this happens. So you have Microsoft Windows. Because they have to release a patch for everyone to be able to install on their system, what do hackers do? We grab the patch down and go, let's see what they fixed. And then you go from the fix all the way to, these are the things they fixed, here's the things that are vulnerable, write an exploit, and now that gives me an access to any system which doesn't have that patch.
You don't want to do the complicated, expensive process of making new exploits or trying to find new ways to break in. That's already been done for you 99% of the time, and it's available on the internet. It forces companies to actually take security seriously, to fix these flaws. But it's a bad thing because they're often available.
How often are these like 0-day kind of events happening?
All 0-day means is a previously undiscovered exploit for some piece of software or hardware.
For all of us normies out there, the word 0-day sounds like everything's shutting down. It's a very scary concept. It's very scary to me at all that somebody could hack into a system and make it so water doesn't get to my town.
It's terrifying.
It's terrifying.
This is normal operations that these vulnerabilities are found. And security is not a one and done thing. It's a secular thing. It has to happen frequently. Firewalls, same thing. When you talk about layers, those layers have to be tested along the way and then improved upon.
Exploits are the gaps attackers find before anyone else knows they exist. The most dangerous exploits are referred to as 0 days. Why is it called a 0 day? That's because defenders have had 0 days to prepare a fix before attackers can take advantage of it. So these dangerous exploits are unpatched and unknown. Let's revisit our police inspection point again. We're back on the bridge and all of the officers have their instructions. Cars from New Jersey and ones with warrants are being stopped. Now imagine if someone takes over the dispatch radio. That's our exploit. Instead of checking vehicles, the officers have left the bridge and every vehicle comes and goes as it pleases. The inspection point becomes completely compromised and everything is exposed. The hackers have bypassed the bridge. I think it's time to see what an exploit will do at our office in New Mexico. And I have a friend that can help us this time.
I've burned my way through the firewall, but for this next experiment, things are getting a little bit dangerous. So let me introduce you to my little friend. This is Max. He's very well trained, highly motivated, kind of adorable, and packing heat. He's such a good boy. Along with the flamethrower, Max has one of those exploits we talked about. And an exploit can destroy your firewall along with your entire network, leaving you completely exposed. Max, go show him what we mean. What happens when a hacker finds their way around the rules entirely? No warnings, no alerts, no way to stop it. Max, all yours. 3, 2, 1. Day. Good boy, Max. You're gonna get a bone or whatever robot dogs eat. When attackers use an exploit, especially a 0 day, it doesn't matter how strong your rules are. They're not going through your firewall. They're going around it, they're going under it. They're using a vulnerability that you didn't know even existed. The scary part is, it's actually easier to hack into a network when there's a firewall present. And that's exactly what's happening today. Let's go back to Vegas and check in with our hackers. Are we in yet?
Nope.
Are we in yet?
No.
Aren't you guys supposed to wear hoodies?
Only for outside.
Are we in yet?
No.
Are we in yet?
We are in.
Really? Really?
Great, the system's down.
Whoa!
Perfect. Amazing. Very good.
In the movie, we're all a lot better looking. All right, you broke one firewall. How about 2 firewalls? Can you break 2 firewalls?
Yes, for the 2 firewall, it's possible. It will be more complicated.
All right, well, how about a diode, a data diode?
No, that's impossible.
Unhackable?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what the hackers have to say about that one. Oh, wait, you are hackers. The other ones. Okay, so now we know how hackers get into firewalls. When rules are misconfigured or exploits go unpatched, they get in. And they own that firewall and everything waiting behind it. So now what?
what is the secure path forward? If I wanted to transmit data and be incredibly secure, maybe a government agency, maybe a giant utility, what would I do?
That's the trillion-dollar question, if you will, with a T.
What happens if you have two firewalls?
So talking about two firewalls, I mean, the thing is there, what you're doing is you're just replicating the same thing quite often. The analogy breaks down very slightly because it's not going to give you more performance.
Well, if you're talking about like stacking firewalls, so one at the edge and another one right behind it, now you just got a lot of complexity. You're managing more things. There's going to be higher costs involved.
What are the drawbacks of using two firewalls?
Performance, big one. Like, firewalls are not they don't just let everything through. They have to take time to take a look at what cars are there and take a look inside that car and make sure everything's okay.
Would a second wall stop somebody?
Dissimilar hardware helps. If you use the same thing on A and B, the way you broke A, you can break it again. But if you're using dissimilar devices, so what you learned how to break the first one, you can't use that knowledge to break the next. That's where you get extra strength.
Does having that kind of complexity create any sort of latency?
It can do, particularly if one of the vendors is not as performant as the other one.
Whether it's too much latency or still an acceptable amount is up to every network to decide for themselves.
Is there a safer way to guard my information than a firewall?
Yeah, I mean, there's data diodes, one-way mirror type things.
A data diode or a diode device that's designed to only allow information to flow one way.
You can have diode where you can basically allow data to go from the internet to your secure enclave or secure network, but not allow an outbound.
So yeah, two firewalls? Not so fast. Stacking firewalls doesn't mean double the protection. It means double the maintenance, double the cost, and often half the performance. So you still end up with blind spots and latency that slows everything down. And even with two firewalls, it's still a hackable boundary. It can fail. But remember our hacker friends? They mentioned something about a data diode. What are the leading companies in creating diodes right now?
OPSWAT.
Leader in diodes is OPSWAT.
OPSWAT, definitely.
Hi there. So I'm looking for somebody who can talk to me about diodes.
Yeah, absolutely. You should go over there and meet Mark. He's been working with diodes for nearly 10 years.
Okay, Mark?
Mark, yeah.
Are you Mark?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so I have a couple questions for you.
Sure.
What is a diode?
Thanks to the laws of physics, a data diode is a hardware-enforced security tool that cannot be hacked. It uses hardware to enforce security versus a traditional firewall that uses software base that can be hacked. Now, the essence of a diode is that it takes data and it converts it into light, and it moves it across the diode to its end destination. There are two servers in a diode. There's a source server and a destination server. And those servers are connected by a single fiber optic cable. And we take the data that's incoming, we convert that data to light, and we move it across the fiber unidirectionally. This side, the source side, has a photo transmitter, but it doesn't have a photo receiver. This side has a photo receiver, but it doesn't have a photo transmitter. So data can only flow in this direction. There is no way that anything can come back into the source network because there is no photo transmitter on the destination side.
Okay, so this isn't hackable.
There's no way to get back in. Companies use firewalls for years. That's what they know, and that's what they, prefer to go with. Less secure, though.
Can a diode replace a firewall?
Yes, it can. In different situations, it can replace a firewall. But in other situations, we coexist with firewalls. In many customers that we go to, they'll have dual firewalls in pair, and we'll put our diode in the middle, and we'll tell the customer to leave those firewalls in place. It's a defense in depth architecture. So the combination of the firewalls with the diode really strengthens your security profile.
If I'm understanding that, that means that this is a physical barrier. It's not just a digital barrier.
That's correct. It's governed by the laws of physics. It's unhackable. You'd be better off trying to communicate with someone through a cinder block wall than trying to hack a data diode.
Cinder block wall. You're inspiring me for something here. Cinder block wall. Let's revisit our bridge one last time. The goal from the beginning has been to keep our city safe. So with a data diode now in place, that entirely removes the lane of traffic coming into the city, only allowing cars to leave. Now, you may be asking, how do cars get in? And that's exactly the point. They don't. Critical industries like banking, power, water, manufacturing, and defense need this level of security that only a data diode can provide. Nothing gets in, and only what they want gets out.
This is a data diode. It represents a piece of security hardware designed to allow data to flow in only one direction, which means it's unhackable. No ports, no rules, and most importantly, no 0 days. Me and Max are back on the attack. We have everything that a hacker could want. Intent, access, and a flamethrower. Let's see if this diode can withstand the heat. And just like that, the office is safe. There are no melted keyboards, no scorch marks, because there were no rules to misconfigure. There are no exploits to exploit, and there is no breach. And because you can't hack physics, this is the kind of defense that critical networks need. Think power grids, banks, water systems, hospitals, when the cost of failure isn't just data, it's lives.
Data diodes aren't hackable. They're a physical barrier, and in many instances, they can replace firewalls. But breaking firewalls is just one way hackers get in, and we've barely scratched the surface. Until next time, I'm Kari Byron, and this has been Into the Breach.
Ready, boy? Catch! Good. Oh, no! Max, here, boy. Here, boy. Sit. Good boy. Shake, shake. Oh, good boy.
Four months.
That's a wrap.
They told me yes, sir, we have weeks. And so I put him out.
Should we plug it in?
Maybe we should.